What is going on, y'all? Gamers Goon here today, and today we are going over our NFL awards, who I think will win them all. And the preseason's just started, so I mean, some of these guys might go down with injury or something, and maybe things will change by the time the season starts. But before we get the season fully going, we are going to jump on into my predictions. We are going to start off with the Offensive Rookie of the Year. I got to be in Travis Hunter. I've got to go with Travis Hunter here. I'm looking at Travis Hunter in the same aspect of like a Justin Jefferson. I think this guy will be the go-to. I do understand he is playing two ways for the Jaguars. I do think that there is going to be a lot of buzz, potentially even for a Defensive Rookie of the Year as well for Travis Hunter, because he is going to be playing two ways. But the calling card is going to be on the offense. Trevor Lawrence is pushing him to be an offensive player first. The team is giving him a lot of reps on the offensive side of the ball. He is currently listed as a starting receiver for the team, playing opposite of Brian Thomas, who had a stellar rookie year last year. I think Travis Hunter is at least the same, if not better, production-wise this year as Brian Thomas was last year. I think this is a great situation for Travis Hunter. And then obviously we've seen the depth chart come out, and he is right now a backup on as a backup DB. I don't necessarily know how much DB he's going to get the opportunity to play this season, but I can guarantee you one thing. Travis Hunter will be primarily, now that could be maybe 55% of the time, 45%, but he will take more than 50% of his snaps that he logs this season at receiver. And he's going to probably log the most snaps out of anybody in the NFL. Travis Hunter, I think, is going to be really, really good on the offensive side of the ball. Very explosive receiver. Obviously, we know the kind of athlete he is. We got to see him at Colorado. There's a reason why he was a top 3 pick. Travis Hunter, if he is just a receiver, I think is up there with Justin Jefferson. That's why we mentioned Justin Jefferson. The explosion and the agility and just the way he can create plays once the ball gets in his hands, this guy's legit. So, Travis Hunter, I know there's maybe some Cam Ward buzz for the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Maybe you're in the Ted McMillan camp. Ashton Jeanty, obviously, going to be in the race as well. Maybe even Amarion Hampton. Or maybe somebody even further down the line we're not talking about just yet. But I think we are going to get a really good rookie year out of Travis Hunter, and I think he is going to be rewarded for that. Let's get to the Defensive Rookie of the Year now, though. Will it be Travis Hunter? No, I don't think it will be. I think Abdul Carter is going to post at least around 8, maybe even getting to 10 sacks. I think he is somebody that I look at, and I saw him play in college a lot. I've seen him play in person in college. The dude's a beast. The dude is a beast. He's going to be playing on a very good defensive line as well. I think the Giants are kind of in a spot that they could be taking a step this season to potentially start to gain a little bit more notoriety around the league. And more eyes will be on this Giants team, especially once Jackson Dart gets a starting role from Russell Wilson. They'll bring more eyes to this team. Abdul Carter, though, I do think is going to have a very, very good rookie year. He's playing on one of the better defensive lines. I do know the Giants' defense is kind of hit or miss, but that defensive line is really, really talented. And I think Abdul Carter will be a beneficiary of playing around really good talent, and he'll have the sack numbers to be one of the top defensive rookies this season. So we're going to lean towards Abdul Carter. I understand the Travis Hunter buzz. I could get behind a few others. Maybe you're in the camp of like Shamar Stewart having a big year, or maybe I don't know, Malachi Starks or somebody. I don't know. But for me, I think I'm leaning Abdul Carter at the moment. Let's get to the Offensive Player of the Year. Now, I do want to make it known this is not my MVP. This is not my MVP. I wanted to give you an Offensive Player of the Year and an MVP. Technically, I think they can win both, but usually they don't. My Offensive Player of the Year is going to be Saquon Barkley. He's coming off of a Super Bowl last year. Had a really, really good season last year as well. I think you're going to see Saquon Barkley get once again to the 2K mark. I think Saquon Barkley is going to be proving like, hey, I am clearly the best running back this league has. I'm a big fan of Barkley, obviously. Carried me in fantasy last year to a championship. Shout out to Saquon. But this guy is an absolute freak athlete. There's nobody that can take him down on a consistent basis. He can juke you out. He can run you over. He can jump over you. Saquon Barkley on this Eagles team, I think you'll even see the touchdown numbers maybe get a little bit more of a boost. Obviously, you're always going to have Jalen Hurts stealing some touchdowns away with the tush push, but I think Saquon Barkley is in for yet another good season, so he is my Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, I had trouble with this one because he could be the Comeback Player of the Year, and I didn't want to give you the Comeback and Defensive Player of the Year, but we're going Aiden Hutchinson. I think Aiden Hutchinson last year, before his injury, was on a path of dominance. This guy is a beast. The sack numbers will be high. This defense is pretty good without Aiden Hutchinson. With Aiden Hutchinson, though, this defense is like very, very scary because Aiden Hutchinson is one of the best pass rushers in the entire NFL. Now you can maybe throw in Max Crosby in there or somebody else, but to me, Aiden Hutchinson is up there, right? Aiden Hutchinson, I think, has a big year this year. I think the sack numbers are high. We're going with Aiden Hutchinson for Defensive Player of the Year. Then we get to the Coach of the Year. Am I going with Dan Campbell? Maybe maybe Ben Johnson with Caleb Williams now at the QB position. Or I'm going Dave Canales. I know. There's probably some people laughing that I put Dave Canales up here. I get it. I truly do. The Panthers team has not been great, but I still believe in Bryce Young. I still am a believer in Bryce Young. They brought in Teteroa McMillan. I liked Xavier Legette. Shout out to Xavier Legette. I don't think I've ever seen somebody get ejected in a preseason game until he and Rayshon Jenkins did, but he got ejected. But Xavier Legette, somebody I believe in. I really like Jalen Coker as well on that team at the receivers position. Chuba Hubbard is their lead back. They brought in Rico Dowdle, who I really liked out of Dallas last year. You're still waiting on Jonathan Brooks. He's obviously down this season with injury for the second year in a row, so that is a little bit of a concern. I really like Jatavion Sanders on their team as well. Defensively, that's going to be kind of where they're going to need to figure some things out. I hope they can figure it out because I really like Bryce Young. He is somebody that I know it's been 2 years and there's been a lot of bad, but towards the end of last season there was some good. I'm not ready to give up on Bryce Young just yet. I think Bryce Young is a solid QB. I can see him turning it around. I think people give up on quarterbacks way too soon. Bryce Young, the offensive line is going to be a problem as well, but I think if you can somehow get to like 7 or 8 wins and you're fighting for a playoff spot, then you're going to be like, okay, now we're just 1 or 2 games away, get into the playoffs. I mean, if you get to the trade deadline at competing and you can maybe buy, I don't know. I think Dave Canales, he has an opportunity here to do something with this team if you can make the playoffs. I think this is a good opportunity for a team like the Panthers who, quite honestly, don't on paper seem that great. If you can get to the playoffs, I think Dave Canales deserves a lot of credit because it's going to be an uphill fight for this team. I like a lot of the pieces on their offense, but the offensive line is still not very good. And then the defense, there's a lot of questions there. But Dave Canales has a good opportunity. I didn't want to be all chalky and go, it's going to be Ben Johnson. I didn't want to go all chalky and say it's going to be Vrabel. I didn't want to say any of the new coaches. We're going to go with Dave Canales and flipping this thing around for the Panthers. Then we get to the comeback player of the year. We got CMC. It was hard for me to not put Aiden Hutchinson here. Dak could be here. There's a few players here that could be the comeback player of the year as well. But CMC, obviously, we know he missed a lot of last season. Now, he did play some last season, but he was banged up all season, never really got a true go at things. I think this year, CMC is going to come in healthy. CMC is going to be the CMC of the past, where this is the guy that can catch out of the backfield, run for over 1,500 yards. I think this is going to be because I feel like we get a year of CMC being hurt and then a year of CMC being really, really good. I think we're in for one of those years of CMC just dominating everybody in his path. This 49ers team is really, really banged up as well. The receivers, I think Jauan Jennings is going to be their number one receiver. Ricky Pearsall has been banged up a lot since joining the league. You look at them, they traded Deebo Samuel. Brandon Ayuk, I think, has some injury history as well. Kittle will get banged up at some point this season. If you can get a healthy season of CMC with Brock Purdy, CMC is going to be like one of the better players in the league. Now, CMC's got to stay healthy is the key factor there. But we are going to rock with CMC for now and say he is going to be the comeback player of the year. And that leaves us with one spot left, the MVP. Do I give it to Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase? Do we give it to, you name it, Bijan? Crazy if I'd give it to Bijan, right? Running backs don't usually win the MVP, but shout out Bijan. I'm going to rock with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is playing in the preseason. He looked good next to Jamar Chase. The league should be scared. Joe Burrow last year had a great season. They didn't make the playoffs. Joe Burrow was trying to put them on his back late in the season to get there, and he did for the most part, and they still missed the playoffs. Joe Burrow is playing in the preseason. That should scare teams. So you might see like peak Joe Burrow like by week 4, week 5. Because he always has a ramp-up period. He looked good, but it was a preseason game, right? So he's not necessarily playing everybody that he's going to be playing week 1, week 2, week 3, whatever. But if you let Joe Burrow get into rhythm in the preseason, it's a wrap. Joe Burrow and the Bengals, I don't fully know their schedule, and we're going to do a video that I'm going to predict what the playoffs are going to look like. It's kind of similar to the college football video we did. And I might do videos about positional groups as well, maybe like my top 10 for fantasy purposes. But Joe Burrow, man. Joe Burrow going into the season, this team, I haven't taken a look at their schedule just yet, but this just feels like a team right now. Because obviously we know they can compete with the best. This is a 10 or 12 win team, like somewhere in that range. They're going to be in the playoffs this year. Joe Burrow is going to dominate like he has in the past, but this time they're going to be winning because Joe Burrow is going to be in peak form early in the season. It's not going to be week 7 before we see peak Joe Burrow. We're going to see it pretty early on this season, and we're going to see as long as he and Jamar Chase can stay healthy, Chase Brown as well, throw it in there, T. Higgins as well, this team's going to be nice. They're going to be nice. I think it's the Bengals' year to do something special. Are they going to win a Super Bowl? I don't know. We're going to get to that in the playoff video at some point, but Joe Burrow, for me, has got to be my MVP vote. Just looking at a locked-in Joe Burrow playing preseason, I think it's already over. Like, if I had to make a guess right now, 75% confidence this early in the season that it's Joe Burrow. 75% confidence any point before the season is a bad idea. I believe in Joe Burrow this season. He's going to put up numbers. And if he can make the playoffs, I think he could have been in the running last year. Joe Burrow is just that good of a quarterback, man. He is one of the true game changers in the NFL, and I think this is his year for MVP. Anyways, Thank you all for watching. Let me know down below who you think's going to win each award we discussed today. Later this week, we are going to be doing a playoff prediction video of who I think will make the playoffs. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.